What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fight Forum. I'm your boy Showtime. The King is back. I've been back after 2 weeks of being out. Unfortunately, I had some car troubles getting out here, so I wasn't able to record. But I was with y'all on Spirits. If you follow me on Twitter, I was obviously, tweeting my butt off about all the fights that's happened in the past couple weeks. But today we are talking about UFC 264, which was headlined by Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. I just seen the numbers. That actually turned out to be the second biggest UFC event ever. I think they sold 1.8 million pay-per-view buys, which goes against people's logic of money versus legacy. When I tell people legacy matters more than just money fights, because if you have a great legacy, you're always going to be able to get the money afterwards because of who your name is. I mean, Mike Tyson, for instance, he just got paid so much money, and we already know that his last few fights professionally, he was trash. But anyways, back to the original point. The card was pretty fun, actually. Sean O'Malley, he looked great. He fought a punching bag, and that dude was tough as hell. I really wish that it didn't get stopped with 30 seconds left. I understand why, because he literally got punched in the face endlessly. I thought he liked getting punched, obviously, as many times as he did get punched. It was really weird at one point. And Sean O'Malley, I just seen he got like a 60-day suspension. I think he hurt his foot, his ankle, and he hurt both his hands. I've been saying this, and I'm going to say this now. He will never be champion. This dude is brittle. Like, he's made of glass. He can't, like, how can you do a 5-round fight when you go against the elite of the elite and you constantly keep hurting your foot, hurting your ankle? Now you hurt both your hands. He's obviously a talented fighter. I do want to see him step up in competition. I've seen some names thrown around like Frankie Edgar, which I hope doesn't happen because Frankie probably will die because I'm getting sick and tired of him getting knocked out so many times now. But, I would love to see him fight Cody. Cody needs a win. Sean honestly needs a big name. It's a good fight for both, I think. But it's probably not going to happen because I think they just said Cody booked another fight. And then the other fights after that was pretty interesting. I was really upset about Wonder Boy. I'm a big Wonder Boy fan. I do think that he was talented enough to be a champion, but now that's officially over. His championship dreams are pretty much done. He got out-wrestled by a former 155-pounder, which completely surprised me. I thought this dude had way better takedown defense. I was confused. I'm confused, man. I'm so confused by Wonder Boy. You never really got taken down that easily. I think Tyron Woodley even struggled more. But for some odd reason, Gilbert was able to take you down pretty much whenever he wanted. And then you couldn't get up. Which, I mean, I understand why you couldn't get up. That's a black belt. That dude's very good on top, so I get it. But how did you get taken down by a 155-pounder? There's no excuse. So, and you thought you was a bad matchup for Kamaru Usman. If Gilbert took you down, what the hell did you think Kamaru Usman was going to do? He damn sure was going to beat the hell out of you. So, yeah, I was very disappointed in Wonder Boy. Gilbert, I honestly thought you were smart. Great fight. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but you did what you needed to do to win. To beat Wonder Boy is not always going to be exciting. That's just a fact. Now, the fight that we obviously cared about the most, which was the Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier trilogy. I don't know about you guys, but I was very disappointed in the ending. I wasn't happy, obviously, that he broke his tibia. That's awful. I broke my ankle before. It's not a good feeling. And if you haven't broken it, yeah, be happy you haven't, because it is the worst pain in the world. And the fact that he was even able to talk crap after breaking his ankle is actually very talented. When I broke my ankle, I was just on the ground crying because that joint hurt that bad. This dude was literally just angry. It might have been the cocaine. I don't know, but it was still ridiculous the fact that he was even able to do that. But the fight itself, I was surprised, man. Honestly, I was going for Conor. I thought Conor was going to be able to win. He won the first round in their second fight, and I thought that it was just the calf kicks that he wasn't adjusted to because it's still relatively new. People aren't always doing it, and Dustin really didn't do it in fights before. And he didn't do it too often in fights before, so I didn't really expect it. What I sure as hell didn't expect, though, was Conor McGregor to throw so many damn leg kicks himself. If anybody's seen Conor fight, he's done that one time, and that was with Nate. And the reason why he did that with Nate is because we all know Nate don't block leg kicks. He don't check them. He just literally just eats them. And then he'll be limping, and then he'll still walk forward somehow. I get it for that fight, but the Dustin fight, it didn't make sense. Like, granted, it was working, sure, but you're not a leg kicker. That's not your thing. Your legs aren't even built for that. So, when he broke it, I was just like, it's probably all them leg kicks. And then slowing it up, you see that one of his teeps kind of like low-key cracked his leg a little bit because he stepped back on it. He really wasn't as strong. His base wasn't as strong. And then that's when he threw the punch, completely shattered it. It's sad. It's an unfortunate, man. Especially, I feel worse for Dustin Poirier just for the fact that Dustin was clearly winning that fight. Dustin might have won the fight in the second round. Who knows? But we will never know because of that broken ankle. A win is still a win. He still won that fight. Give him the credit that he deserves. But at the same time, it was a broken ankle by throwing a punch. We can't ignore that. So, and then people want to just completely rag on Conor saying, like, he would have lost anyways. He was losing the first round, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's think back to Conor McGregor fighting Khabib. The second round, that was the worst beating Conor's ever taken in the UFC, by far. He was getting his ass whooped. What happened in the next round? Fought Khabib very, very tough. As I recall, he won that round, the next round. So for people to just completely give up on Conor because he lost one round, it's kind of stupid. Conor is a fighter. He will fight in the next round, and we've seen him recover. So I don't want to just sit here and say, oh, well, he would have easily lost the second round because he lost the first round. It doesn't work that way. Conor's not that kind of fighter. Now, I guess the thing is, what's next for both? Obviously, Dustin Poirier, championship. Fight Charles Oliveira. I'm so excited for that fight because I love both fighters. They're both genuinely good dudes. And they're not similar in skill set, but they both don't have many flaws. They're both tough. They both have great stand-up. They both can knock you out with one punch. They both have decent cardio. Really good cardio. And they both have really good submissions. I can see either one knocking each other out. I can see either one submitting each other. So this brings up a really good fight, and I cannot wait for that to happen. But obviously, the biggest thing is what's next for Conor. Conor, you shouldn't retire. People who say he should retire, I just don't get it. Yes, Conor is 1-3 his last 4. Is it embarrassing? Of course, a little embarrassing. But let's put in perspective the 1-3. Like, he lost twice to one person. And then the other person he lost to was Khabib, who literally beat everybody. So, I don't really get this whole he needs to retire. He's not at this level anymore, this, that, and the third. The second fight, which was a couple months ago, fighting Dustin Poirier, who many believe is the best 155-pounder in the world. Conor beat him the first round of that first fight. Not the first fight, the second fight. And then the second round, we already know what happened. He got knocked out. It happens. But we can't sit here and discredit Dustin like Dustin is possibly not the best lightweight in the world. If Conor loses to the best in the world, okay, it happens. It's MMA. Most people lose to the best in the world. Eventually you're going to lose. Unless you're John Jones. And even I think he lost his last fight. But even still, everybody loses except for Khabib and John Jones. It happens. Conor is still at the elite level, in my opinion. There's not much that I've seen that makes me say, oh, he can't beat a top 5 guy. He can easily beat a top 5 guy. His striking is still crisp. All right? He still is focused when he's in the fight. His takedown defense was a little disappointing, especially his ground game. I thought he was a little better than that. He was able to neutralize Khabib a lot more in the first round than he was Dustin in the first round, which makes me think he didn't work his ground game as much as he tried to make it seem like he did. But like I said, to lose to the 2 best lightweights in the world does not mean you're washed. That just means that these guys are better, and you need to obviously step your cookies up. So I don't think he needs to retire. I think he needs to honestly have another fight. He probably does need a tune-up fight. Maybe fight somebody that's 10, 11. Another Donald Cerrone type of character. Who knows? But I just know he doesn't obviously need to fight Dustin a 4th time. I don't want to see that again. Maybe if he wins again, I might be down for it. But as of right now, no, we've seen it twice now. Not that interested in it. I want to see Dustin fight for the title. He deserves it. And I need Conor to honestly get some wins under his belt because he is 1-3, even if the 2 people were elite. And Conor, I don't really know what was with your camp. I don't know if that was your camp that told you to throw all these leg kicks or that was just yourself. I don't know if you told your camp that you were going to do this and they just said, okay. But it wasn't a good strategy at all, in my opinion. Like, that's not your thing. You're not a leg kicker. You're not Jose Aldo. Stop trying to act like you are. Didn't make sense. But yeah, so I would love for you what you guys think. Tell me what you think of Conor. Do you really think he's done? If not, then who do you think he should be matched up with next? I've heard RDA thrown out there. I'm actually down for that fight. I think that fight makes a lot of sense for both guys, and it's a winnable fight for both guys. So, once again, just comment, follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But thank you. This is Showtime's Fight Forum. I'm your boy Showtime.